Clackety clack.
Clackety clack. Hello.
We're in the Matrix.
We are in the Matrix. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are tuning in from. Welcome back to another highly anticipated episode of the Fall Off Pod. I know what you guys are thinking. Wait a second. Did Carly grow a beard? That Carly looks a little bit different today.
Hey,
Carly, tell him what's been going on, man. How's everything with the preschool going?
Things are changing. It's a new me, new year, new me, babe, and we're here. And
I love that for
this
you.
This is so. I hope you like this new part of me. This new me.
I do love it.
We just do the whole pod as me as your girlfriend that I don't really know. It would be.
Yeah.
It's.
That'd be fun.
It'd be fun. That'd be an interesting game.
It would be very interesting. But guys, yeah, obviously, that's what we call in the entertainment industry a bit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar, but basically it means that we're super funny, charismatic people, and we just freaking rule. This is my friend, my new friend Hunter Cope. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but you have quite a big catalog of work. When I was looking at your website and your IMDb, at first when I was introduced to you, I was told that you were an actor, but that's just that's 10% of what you do.
Yeah. I mean, I have been doing this type of stuff for a long time, man.
Yeah.
15 years plus, in the game, hustling and being a creative person and an entertainer for over 15 years to varying levels of success.
Yeah.
It's been a ride. It's been a but I'm a writer and a producer and an actor and I all around creative human being. I really love to be creative and that's kind of the main tenet of my how I live my life and and so I mean that's the way we met was on a project recently where I brought you in, or actually the producer who's producing the show brought you in to come play with us. We had some fun, and you were great. And
thanks, man. Likewise,
it was a blast. It was
that was so
weird
fun,
little, we can get to that. We can get to that. I'll let you run the show. I might get the mic. I'm like, all right, so ladies be shopping.
Dude, I mean, this is great.
I also don't know how to sit. I'm like, do I look here? Do I look at you? Do I want to be comfortable, so I might pop like this.
I'm also learning as we go. I don't know. This is not if you guys don't know, if you're watching on video, if you're not watching on video, I don't have a setup. We're literally just shoehorned into my little corner where my desk is at, which is so funny because in the dynamic of this room, my girl is a very girly girl, so she's yes, we just need our cute little initials on the wall.
We love.
And then tucked away in the corner is yes, flashing RGB lights, monitors.
There are multiple monitors here. There's a lot of New England. There's a lot of Boston love happening here.
You guys know I'm a obnoxious Boston sports fan.
Tish came in with the cash vibe. I sort of dressed it up a little bit,
You're the eye candy. I can't be if I show up and people are focused on me, that completely takes away from the point of having you as a guest star. You are the guest star.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is such a flattering angle of me too, sort of laying back, 37-year-old white man belly protruding, kind of. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work.
You are absolutely making it work, man.
Thank you. But we're just gonna have to figure out kind of the vibe. You're kind of looking back at it here. It's we're kind of. But if we're just kind of you'll pop.
Yeah.
We'll chill. We'll
keep it cash.
Yeah, keep it cash.
But yeah, dude. I mean, like you were saying, we met on a project which you are the host of.
Yeah.
Which is really awesome. Do you want to give people the spiel?
Yeah, so this is a project that I'm really excited about. It's something I've been working on for over a year now, and it's kind of a new version of a talk show that's called the Perfect Parfait. And so I don't know if you know what a parfait is.
Yeah, of course. But I wanted to ask you, what was the inspiration behind that title?
So
because usually people are very narcissistic in the sense of a talk show. You could have easily just been the Hunter Cope Show.
Yeah,
it's me, but I was Perfect Parfait.
I probably fucked up. I probably should have branded it a little better and put myself, the Hunter Cope show, that does have a nice ring to it. But
So it's Perfect Parfait. I like it.
well, the Perfect Parfait. So a parfait is a layered sort of breakfast dish. It sort of originated in France as like a dessert. It's a frozen custard, and then kind of made its way across the Atlantic, and is it's like this beloved, we're kind of not so beloved breakfast dish. It's it's
Yeah.
yogurt, it's granola, it's fruit, but it really just means layers. It's a layered dish.
Yeah.
And so I've always loved parfaits. I'm always the guy who's like ordering a parfait at breakfast, and my girl's like, "Why are you eating like what do you do?" Or I'll like order like eggs and bacon and toast, and then also like a parfait. She's like, "You're eating 2 meals." I'm like, "The parfait's kind of like a separate thing."
Yeah,
it's I've always just had a soft spot for the parfait, and so a couple years ago, I guess last year or maybe 2023 was the writers' strike.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the Screen Actors Guild strike.
Mhm.
And I'm in both of those unions, and I didn't have a job, and I was trying to figure out my next move, and I had this title of The Perfect Parfait in my head, and I wanted to do a series of like YouTube videos or just like just social videos
Yeah.
of me like as kind of a Anthony Bourdain version of myself, going to these different cafes in LA and just like eating the parfait and then like writing these little like Bourdain-esque monologues
Yeah.
about the sort of the beauty of this particular parfait and kind of in the search for the perfect parfait. That was kind of the idea.
Ah.
And then that sort of evolved into like, well, what if I brought my funny celebrity friends with me? What if I brought people that I thought were really funny and we kind of did it together, and there was a little bit more of a back and forth versus just me, talking to camera.
Yeah.
And then that sort of evolved into like, what if it was an interview show? Like, what if I did my own version of Hot Ones, but we're eating yogurt? And,
Yeah.
what if it was kind of a play on Hot Ones, but like Hot Ones is so earnest, like that. Sean Evans is like, he's such a G. Like his journalism,
he's the man.
like his questions are like fucking through the roof.
Oh yeah.
He's so good. And I love that. And he gets great reactions from people. He gets great answers. His stuff is really well researched. But that's not me. Like I'm a comedian and I'm a writer and I'm like kind of a, I'd say a little bit more of a mess. And so my thought was like, what if it was like Hot Ones, but then the show's kind of falling apart?
Yeah.
And there's a little like Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis energy, and there's a little bit of Eric Andre in there, and those guys are both like just comic legends. I'm not saying I'm existing at that level, but like just the feeling of like it's a talk show that is kind of falling apart, and the host is doing his best, and he really wants it to work, and then the parfait element. So I'm all over the place here, but the concept is, the format of the show is, I interview a celebrity, iconic, interesting guest.
Mm-hmm.
We talk for like, it's like a hour interview.
Okay.
And I work with a Michelin rated chef. That's a chef that used to work at a Michelin star restaurant. This guy's Chef David Codney. He was the executive chef of the Beverly Hills Peninsula.
What?
Which is like a really well-known restaurant. He now has his own company called Acid and Salt, and he rehabs restaurants. He goes and he changes menus. He like helps he helps restaurants like get their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, what if I worked with this guy who's like really legit in the culinary space, and we build parfaits for each guest that represent their sort of persona.
That's sick. That's sick. I love that a lot. That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's like, so we sit down, we eat the parfait. We start with sort of a more traditional interview, and then the interview kind of falls apart sometimes, and sometimes it, the show is very layered.
Yeah.
Like a parfait.
Exactly.
Like it's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of earnestness. Were you fucking vaping before I got here, bro?
No, dude. I'm
chief
just.
it up, dude?
No, not at all, dude.
You got COVID?
Maybe. Sorry.
Sick. That's okay. I'm only going to
H2O.
volunteer at the old folks home after this. I hope it.
Oh shit.
It's all good.
My bad. Old people of LA. My bad.
It's all right. We gotta clear it out for the next generation. Much love to the olds, though. So yeah, that's kind of the format of the show. Is we I sit down with these folks, and then we eat the parfait, and we chat, we shoot the shit, and then sort of the ending is like, was it the perfect parfait or not? And I put it all on the line. You know what I mean? Like there's a prize. If Chef Dave Codney pulls it off, there's a cash prize.
Shit. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I was curious what it is that like raises the stakes here.
If Chef Dave can pull it off, if he makes a perfect parfait, and our celebrity guest says it was the perfect parfait, gives it the thumbs up, I empty out my 401k. $92,678 is where it lives right now.
Damn, Doja, can you leave him alone?
It's all good. It's all good. What's new, pussycat?
She's supposed to steal all the clout, dude. This happens every time. She just like
cats.
Hides, and then as soon as the camera turns on, pretty much she's like, "Oh, this is time for my close up."
I saw her behind the bed just sniffing catnip.
Do you have any questions for Hunter? Something along the lines of 92K is pretty insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somebody gets it. If one of these guests says, "Hey, it's the perfect parfait," then Chef Dave will get that money.
Yeah.
And I cash it out every time we do it. Every time we shoot an episode, I go to Merrill Lynch. There's a branch in Burbank, and I cash it out. I put it in a black duffel bag. I bring it to the Parfait Palace where we shoot the show.
That's insane.
And I present the money. But so far we've shot 6 episodes. We got more on the way, and no one has. It's just perfect. It has to be the perfect parfait.
Okay.
Can't be 9 out of 10, 9.9. It's got to be
10.
Fucking
a
boom,
solid 10 out of 10.
bullseye.
Absolute confidence in that.
Exactly. So
that's
we'll
incredible.
See, but once he hits it, we'll shut the show down and delete all the videos and I'll kill myself.
At least you'll know that you went out with a bang.
Oh yeah,
with the parfait.
Quite literally. Yeah, yeah.
So, who do you have lined up for the show?
Well,
you're excited to talk about. If you want to talk about it,
I'm not supposed to say. I'm supposed to tease it. But if this comes out after we kind of release the lineup,
yeah,
I'll just say it. I'll just say it. It's gonna be a what's the podcast called? The Fallout.
The Fall Off.
The Fall Off. This is a Fall Off exclusive.
Oh
though.
shit!
A Fall Off exclusive, y'all.
You heard it here first. So
we have the great Dave Franco, who was in 21 Jump Street.
Of course.
Now is more of a writer-director, but he's a great actor. He's his movie, he's in The After Party on Apple TV Plus, and so that's our first episode.
Uh-huh.
Then we got my boy Chris Mintz-Plasse from Superbad, Kick-Ass, How to Train Your Dragon, Promising Young Woman. I mean, he's a legend. He played McLovin in Superbad. I
literally got my Superbad poster
right
there.
I saw that right when I walked in here. So he's both Chris and Dave are great friends of mine, and so that's why we sort of led with them, because I was sort of figuring out what the show was. Of course. So I wanted that homie energy. And
very authentic.
Yeah.
Having that rapport is pretty key.
It was totally key. It was so they kind of helped me find the show in the interview. And then we have the co-creator of The Real Bros of Simi Valley, Christian A. Pierce.
Cap.
Yeah,
boy.
You worked with Cap.
Cap is the boy, dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I met him through so I have on social media, on TikTok and stuff, when I started posting videos, I would start meeting people virtually, mutual people following each other back. And my one friend Prance, he makes a lot of sketches on his page. It's very iPhone shot, office style,
right.
The whip pans, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know the fucking jargon.
You're learning.
But I'm learning. And then
you get 10 points for the whip pan.
And then one time he hits me up. He's like, "Yo, you should come out to one of the sketches sometime." I was like, "Yeah, cool. That sounds fun." And then here comes Cap, walks in. I'm bugging out, low key in my head, because in high school, growing up in Massachusetts, the whole concept of sketches and internet videos was so not a part of the culture.
Right.
Like it was very just like lacrosse bro.
Sure.
Culture. It's like creativity. It's not like my hometown isn't a place where like creativity is necessarily celebrated.
Right.
So, but like, Jimmy Tatro, his YouTube videos, Jimmy and Christian were like hand in hand. You couldn't know one without the other. And like,
Yep.
I remember like the videos would always circulate around school. Everyone knew them. And like meeting Cap, I was like, dude, like you brought so many laughs to me. Like when I was in high school,
Absolutely.
It felt like such a full circle moment. And I was like, I'm just hanging out with this guy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and then we ended up working together on some more stuff with Chubby's.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, just a freaking crazy trip. And obviously, Chubby's is like kind of the reason that I met you.
Yeah.
Because Danny Simmons, the boy, I met Danny on a
big love to Simbo.
Simbo. I love that.
Simbo DS.
Simbo DS.
The
Yeah,
Encino
man.
Rat coming out for that cheddar. No, he's an executive producer and director on the Perfect Parfait.
Yeah.
Him and Joe Angelo Minconi are the two guys that helped build this thing with me.
Yeah, Joe and Danny are the homies, and I met Danny at a Chubby shoot, and we kind of just kept in touch and was like, hey, like we're doing like a little like commercial for like a sketch. Do you want to be in it? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. Lo and behold, go to that. Cap is also in that.
There's
and
Cap.
That was again like another like cool reunion for that.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, hits me up about Perfect Parfait and was like, do you want to be in like a fun little sketch for it? And I was like, of course I do, Danny. I can't say no to your puppy eyes, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what are
yeah.
we talking about?
Guy's 7 foot tall and broad as a fucking wide as a 4x4, whatever that is. You cut that. I don't know what that is.
No, we're keeping that shit.
The guy's tall. He's just
tall.
really tall.
He's very tall.
And yeah, no, he's a great guy. Joe's a great guy, and Cap is a great guy,
Mm-hmm.
and Christian and Jimmy and Life According to Jimmy or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Their YouTube was just so sick, and I kind of came up with those guys around the same time doing sketch comedy. I was in a sketch group. I think I'm like 1 or 2 years older than those dudes.
Uh-huh.
But like we knew each other because we all came kind of up in the valley around the same time, doing similar stuff, like making sketches and doing live shows. And
this was like 2014, 2015, around that area.
That's right. Yeah. And I did a bunch of sketches with Jimmy and Christian, and I just love those dudes and love the success they've had. And Real Bros is like kind of a masterpiece. And yeah, and like Christian is like a great guy, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically, yeah, it's fun to see. It's fun, it's fun to be in this business for a long time and to like come up with these folks and see them all kind of like, climb the ladder in different ways and take on these different sort of parts of their personalities. And Christian's a great writer and producer, great actor. He's also kind of in the fashion world. He's got his brand, and his episode is great. Anyway, they're good dudes, and much love to those guys. And so we got Christian, we got Dave Franco, we got Chris Mintz-Plasse, we have Golden Globe, Emmy, and Critics' Choice award-winning actor Paul Walter Hauser.
That's sick.
So I don't know if you've seen the show Blackbird on Apple TV Plus, but he plays this fucking insane serial killer character that is just so dark. But he's a great actor. He's another guy I kind of came up with years ago, and he's like in Queen Pins, playing opposite Vince Vaughn. He's in Richard Jewell, the Clint Eastwood film. He's been in every. I mean, he's not been in everything, but he's worked with a lot of big projects. Yeah. Like he's worked with some great people. He was in Cruella. Like he's just a great dude, great actor. Like a really solid actor. Yeah. But also a real ham, and so he came on the show, and it was great because that was one of the first interviews we did, and it's sort of like one half of it is like a really great traditional interview with him, like talking about like how he came up and like how we met and how like we were both kind of hustling at the same time, and then it turned into like just a real wacky comedy sort of interview. So it's like it's a great representation of what the Perfect Parfait I think can be, which is this, you don't know what you're gonna get in every bite. You're just like, oh, I'm actually learning about like Paul Walter Hauser's like first credits, but then he starts talking about like whatever, wanting to be slimed, like Nickelodeon slime, and we get this whole fucking slime rant that's like, definitely not for kids. It's, so
that's awesome.
And then then we have this great comedy duo. These girls, Sydney Heller and Olivia De Laurentiis. These they're like TikTokers, comedians, writers. They're kind of people that just do it all. Like, really smart, really funny. And you've got to check them out if you guys are into comedy and into like just sort of like insane energy and sort of that wackadoodle like
keep going
comedy. Keep going, he says. He's getting into tech. He's teching it out. Swordfish, bro. Is he gonna hack into the mainframe? We're still rolling.
We're still rolling, dude.
Things are going. We're in. So Sid and Olivia, their episode is fucking awesome. They're insane. It's a double shot of chaos. It's kind of the parfait that we, that we make for them, and it's got a Red Bull floater, and we just like get so hyped up. And then the final episode of kind of quote unquote season 1. I mean, we're gonna keep the thing rolling, but we're sort of calling these first 6 episodes season 1. Is Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric. I don't know if you're into that Adult Swim world, but he's, kind of a legend in the alternative comedy scene. And he's got his podcast, Office Hours, his live video podcast. And he tours as a musician with his band, the Very Good Band. And
that's sick.
For me, like I grew up and kind of came of age and came of like my sort of comedy film, TV, like on my journey to like being an artist, like Tim and Eric and Tim Heidecker was like a really big moment for me of like, oh, is this kind of the type of work I want to do? It's like this very absurdist, surreal comedy. And I became very obsessed with them back when I was like starting out. And ultimately I kind of gone in my own direction and moved a bit away from that sort of surreal, insane, sort of like really left of center stuff that Tim does, but he's like kind of a legend. And so it was a really exciting interview for me. And dude, his music is awesome. And so, that's kind of our first 6 episodes. And we have about 4 or 5 other guests lined up that are really exciting, but I can't say those yet because we haven't shot them. We don't know if they're going to actually commit, but the goal is that the show has like some big celebrities, but then also we put on some people that are like really just like great, funny comedy people that we like. And then the show can continue to evolve and turn into its own little, like, kind of like, not late night, but like little talk show, kind of ecosystem. Yeah.
I think it's going to do really well. I mean, I feel like, obviously you have a very natural presence on the mic even right now.
That's the cocaine.
That's the
cocaine. That's why I was late.
That'll do it. All right. That's valid.
I heard there was good stuff out here in the OC, so I had to go to Cal State Fullerton. I had to go meet a guy, and
that's what OC stands for. Obviously cocaine.
Obviously cocaine.
Obviously cocaine. That's why I live down here.
So no, but I figured. Yes, thank you for saying that,
dude. I'm really excited. When is it coming out? I don't know if you mentioned that.
So we're gonna drop our first episode on February 20th. Nice. But go follow us at Perfect Parfait Show on Instagram, at Perfect Parfait Show on YouTube. If if TikTok doesn't get banned, we'll be there too.
Amazing.
I'm 37 years old. I'm getting on TikTok for the first time.
It's interesting you say that because I kind of feel like you kind of have to now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what you were saying earlier about the shoot. I'm forgetting the names already. In one ear, out the other. But the women comedian duo that were.
Of course, you forget the women's names. Unreal.
Misogynist confirmed, dude.
Sid and Olivia.
Sid and Olivia.
Yeah.
Sid and Olivia. If you see this, I'm so sorry.
No, they're
I love women. Contrary to
making it worse.
I'm digging
I love women. No one likes women more than me.
I love women.
No, they're great. But what do you? Yeah. What do you? Let's hear it. What do you got?
No, yeah. Really amazing women, first and foremost. But no, the fact that you mentioned that they.
But you know what they are?
Do it
They're
all.
great human beings, aside from their gender.
Yes. Men are trash, for the record.
Oh yeah, well that's for sure. We are the worst. I'm ready.
I'm exemplifying it.
I'm ready for us.
I'm
to go.
leading by example.
Yeah.
Not necessarily how I'd like to, but I am. But it was interesting how you said that they make videos on TikTok, but also are like actor writers. I kind of feel like now you can't kind of just pick one right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're obviously like way more in the industry than I am, but I feel like there's a lot of like cross contamination, if you will. Like
very scientific.
You kind of see like according to my research. Yes. Quite a bit of cross contamination.
Oh yeah, it's getting messy out there. A lot of fluids mixing up. Yeah, I was a bit resistant to doing TikTok and doing YouTube. Like I started out doing YouTube when I was like kind of in college, sketch comedy. Then I worked with Funny or Die when that was a thing, and I was doing sketch comedy with them and getting paid a little bit, or
at least funny. Those were really funny.
At least getting some like money to make them. Yeah. Thank you. And then like got into like the more traditional media landscape of like writing for TV and working at Nickelodeon and Disney and selling pilots and TV pilots, like scripts, and then 2020 and COVID came and things started to change and the landscape started to change, and I continued to try to approach that space and sell and get staffed on TV shows, and it things would come through here and there, but it wasn't as fruitful. It hasn't been as fruitful these last 4 years. And so when the writer strike happened, I thought, I want to do something. I want to make something again. I missed making stuff. Yeah. So much of being like a screenwriter, TV writer is you're pitching ideas. Like if you're not on staff on a show and you're trying to sell a script, you're just like coming with all these ideas. You're building all the characters. You're building the world and what it's going to look like. What's the series arc? Mm-hmm. And you're never gonna see it. Yeah. You might get paid, which is great. We love to get paid. Money's cool, but like, I was getting frustrated not making anything, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a short film. I'm gonna make something online, and then I thought, well, why don't I make 6 little interviews, or maybe it's 8 at the time. We didn't know how many we were gonna do, but like, I can use my celebrity friends, my actor friends, all these talented people. I can kind of bring them on. It's like low lift for them. Hey, you just come in for an afternoon. We're gonna shoot the shit like we're doing right now, and then you can go, as opposed to like, hey, would you want to be in my short film? So anyway, it was a way to like make something and put it online. And so now I'm trying it, and we're gonna see how it plays, on YouTube and TikTok, and we're cutting clips. We're doing the whole, we're doing the dance, which is new for me, which is exciting and a little nerve wracking. I want it to go well, but I also, I'm just like stoked to like look at like cuts and look at our final product and be like, this is good. I'm proud of this, as opposed to like writing another script that might sell for enough money to maybe, live off of for half a year. And then it's like, doesn't get made. And that becomes really disheartening after a while. Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective in the whole like TV and film industry, because like, again, for the millionth time, I don't know how any of it like works, which is interesting because kind of first of all, I want to say it. I respect the shit out of the fact that you kind of took matters into your own hands, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to make something of my own.
It's the same thing you're doing, dude.
Thanks, man.
It's like, I don't know your story, but it sounds like you're, we're in the engineering world, or in kind of a different world than Hollywood in the entertainment industry. And correct me if I'm wrong, you've always been like, I'm a funny dude, and like I got jokes, and my boys think I got jokes, and like let me put it up. I mean, what is your kind of tale? What is So we're back, baby. Oh my God, we are so back.
We were just talking about how I got out of a high-speed car chase in high school.
Yeah.
No, but
3 dead, 4 maimed. The city of Boston was never the same.
Yeah, freaking Tom Brady was in high level maximum security after that.
Yeah.
They said, don't let this maniac behind the wheel get close to my boy Tom. He's got a big Super Bowl next season.
That's how they brought Tom back out of retirement. Was you crashed into him.
Correct.
He got put into a hospital. Then they rebuilt him, Bionic Man style.
Deflategate was actually because I ran over the footballs in my car.
It was a wild.
That's how it happened. Nobody took it into like the bathroom and deflated in my car, my 2007 Honda Civic from high school.
Shout out Civic. No, we're looking for sponsors. Well, I'm looking for
Civic.
sponsors.
Honda, sponsor this man, please.
Yeah.
Um,
Did I call it a Toyota? No. Toyota. No.
You call it Civic.
No. Okay. Honda. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
shout out Honda
Shout out Honda.
and Toyota. Both great cars.
The Toyota-thon. We were big fans of the Toyota-thon.
We love Toyotas. I'm a Prius owner, a proud Prius owner, and Toyotas are great cars. I'm not even fucking around. Okay.
It's a very solid car.
It's a solid car.
Gets the job done. Eco-friendly. We love that.
And we love a Prius. $45 to fill the tank. Okay, you can't beat that.
You honestly can't.
And it
You
gets
really can't.
yeah. Anyway, so I think just got kind of went into dad mode there a little bit. But anyway, so you grew up in Boston.
Yeah.
Deflategate was you, and
Deflategate was me. And like I was saying, this was around like 2013, 15, and this is kind of when like sketch comedy on YouTube was like doing really well. Like everyone knew Left Corner to Jimmy in my high school.
Yeah.
And this kind of like genuinely like no bullshit, like that channel drew so much inspiration to me because I was like, wait, like you don't have to be like super like into film to make videos. Like you don't have to be like, because there were kids that like I knew that were like, you know, like the hardcore theater kids, and there was this big like gap. Like on one side of the spectrum, it was like the jocks.
Sure.
Which I wasn't like a jock, but I played sports.
Right.
And it was kind of like on the other end were like the theater kids who they kind of like gate kept entertainment.
Sure.
Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like when I was in high school, I was like, man, after football season ends, I would love to like try theater.
Yeah.
But I was like so scared to because like I was afraid people would tease the shit out of me for it and not take me seriously. Well, like the jock people making fun of me, like my teammates, but then I was worried that like the theater kids wouldn't take me seriously because these are all kids that have been acting since they were like little kids.
Right.
So I was kind of
and they
like,
take it very seriously, especially at that age. I mean, I don't know. When you're in high school, you're kind of like, this is my personality.
No, literally,
You
like
know,
especially
like
in my high school because it was like they were like widely renowned like in the state. Like every year we were in high school, like constant like awards like for the theater program, and I was just like, man,
But where are they now? They're not on the Fall Off podcast.
Yeah.
All right. They're not here in Only Cocaine OC, baby.
But we're here doing the damn thing.
So you wanted to play, but you felt a little nervous.
Yes. And then that's when like I started, watching more videos on YouTube and saw Jimmy and Christian's videos, and I was like, oh, there's like a opportunity for that. And whenever I had an opportunity to make a video in high school, I would. Like for my chemistry class as a sophomore, we had to do a project on the periodic table. So everyone in the class like picked an element off the periodic table and had to do some visual presentation on it. Do you remember the song "I Love College" by Asher Roth?
And I love college, hey, and I love drinking.
Yeah.
Right? It was like totally. I do.
My friends helped me make a music video for that based on the element that I picked. Like I wrote like a little rap for the element, and we made a video, and it was like, it was like insightful, but like everyone,
but it actually slapped.
It actually slapped. No, everyone in the class, and my teacher were like content out the window. This is hilarious. I'm gonna give you an A because the effort was awesome, and I was like, that felt good. Like I got the job done, but I also made people laugh. And this was a big thing for me because like I was pretty introverted. Like I was like quiet. I was afraid to like crack jokes or try to be confident or funny because I was just like terrified of what people would think all the time. And again, for like Spanish classes, I would do that, and my Spanish would be ass, but my teachers would always be like, "This is funny."
You just did I Love College parody videos
for every
project. Yeah. And
Man canta escuela.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you beat me to it. Yeah.
I butchered that too, but no, yeah. And then after that, I graduated in 2015, went to San Diego State for a bachelor's in computer science. And that's kind of when I broke out of my shell,
right?
And was kind of doing like short form in a sense. Like whenever we were like at social events, I always had like funny like Snapchat stories.
Sure.
And like they kind of like looked like little sketches or skits. And my friends in my fraternity would always joke that like, oh, like if Vine was still around, like you could have made it. Big on it if you had it now. And I was like, thanks guys, that feels really fucking good. Let me just build a time machine real quick. Fuck computer science.
I'm not going back to kill Hitler. I'm not going back to stop any of the atrocities or the genocides. I'm going back just 2 years to get on Vine.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm not even going to buy any Apple stock.
Mm-hmm.
No, fucking Vine was so sick. Like I didn't have a following on there, but like that concept that worked. I mean, it's all kind of evolved, but they should bring Vine back. Honestly, cancel TikTok, ban TikTok, and like Vine reemerges.
Yes, I would love that. The 7
seconds.
Yeah.
You know who was the GOAT on Vine was Will Sasso. You know who that is?
Yes.
Will Sasso. He would do like the lemon videos. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where, like,
the name is super familiar, but I've definitely seen him. But like, I can't put like the name to the face.
He was on Mad TV back in like the 2000s, early 2000s. But he would do these videos on Vine that were like, he would like there was like lemons coming out of every part of his body. He would like open his mouth and a lemon with all this water would fall out of his mouth. Like, and it was like sort of like he was like being sort of possessed by lemons. Oops, I hit something here. But shout out Will Sasso, absolute legend, comedy legend, and continues to innovate. But he was a Vine king in my humble opinion.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people got like their start on Vine. Like I feel like even now, like a lot of like very successful, like prominent YouTubers that are making like very, very, very good money.
Oh yeah,
off that, like started off on Vine. Same with like a lot of influencers or people that are, you know, making their way into more traditional
we're looking
medium.
for sponsors, so Vine. Shout out Vine, you know. All you need is
Throw
7 seconds.
bucks.
That's what I tell my girl too. That's all I got, honey. And so you've been doing this. You've been doing kind of content creation, which is kind of which is whatever. I personally like. I have an issue with that content. There's something about it that kind of annoys me, but but it is what it is. Like
seems
funny
videos,
like, right?
It seems a little like vague.
Well, it's like I'm a little bit of when you talk about those drama kids in high school, like that was me. Like I was gatekeeping that shit for sure.
Oh no.
Yeah. So like I'm like, no, I make films and these are stories and I'm an artist, but it's like, you know, it's just me just throating myself. But like content, because what I don't like is when people call movies content. I'm like, no, that's like a film. Like that's like a story. It's cinema, but also it's not true that all these videos and all of it is content. I don't know, but it's also if you're making like what you do, what I see that's like really funny is it's just like kind of you direct address to camera, like an observation, and then you just ripping on some emo song from 2014. Where are you?
And I'm so
you know, and I'm like, it's like sketch, but it is content in that it's probably like it's all about you and your charisma and your charm, and like you're not spending a lot of time building that, and that's kind of the beauty of it. It's like just like straight fucking to the people. Here it is. Here's my silly thought, and I'm just gonna shoot it out, and some of them are gonna take off, some of them aren't. And that's kind of the fun of it. And there's like a real freedom to that I think for me, like I'm desperate to like really like make sure everything is tightly put together, and you know, I'm like I I present my piece and like, here it is, here's my art. But I also envy that, and I want to do more of that.
You should,
Do more like being silly online. And I've been doing a little bit more of it on Instagram, but just like talking to the camera with a funny observation or like what's on my mind, and adding a little whatever, a little zip zap zop on it, a little little Salt Bay. But because there's just something that's like nice about like, I said something, I'm putting it out. Do you like it? Like if not, that's fine. Move on. We'll move on. It's like there's plenty of things to scroll through.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think backing up, you don't have to do all of it, but it's like, why not do all of it? Why not see myself as like, I'm a serious filmmaker, I'm a writer for hire, I'm also just a funny guy who's gonna riff online and like.
Yeah, that's how I've always kind of been. Is like I feel like a lot of people. I used to do this a lot too. Is I think people write other people off because they've never seen someone do something in particular before. Like in the sense of, like, people told me like, oh, like if you're trying to be a software engineer or you're trying to be a content creator, you can't do both. Right. You got to pick one. Or it's like even with like acting, like I would consider like the sketches I've done, like the higher production value ones, like acting, like the part of like a demo reel for myself. And it's like, a lot of people will kind of say like, you can't put 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And it's like, I'm just busting my ass across all areas.
Yeah.
And I want to see where that takes me.
Yeah.
Sure, I might not succeed with it.
Sure.
But like, how will I know if I don't fucking try my absolute best?
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of gives me a little like imposter syndrome too. 'Cause like I had an audition to be like an episodic character on a show like a month ago.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I had this moment where it was literally like in fucking like Universal. Like I was like, damn, do I belong here? I'm just a content creator. I'm just a software engineer. Like,
right.
Do I belong here? But then I was like, yeah, because I wouldn't have got this in the first place if I didn't. You know what I mean? So,
and I'm here. Either way, do I belong? Well, it doesn't matter. They let me in, and I'm here to fucking do the lines.
I have my credential right here.
Yeah.
My day pass.
Well, the universe brought me here.
Yeah.
So you do belong in that situation, and and it's about understanding that as humans we contain multitudes. We are diverse.
We're multifaceted. Like I don't think that like you said, like humans are so complex, and like we all share like dreams. Like we all have dreams, aspirations, emotions. That's why it's like I like doing the funny stuff, but I also like to, try to build software and applications that make like a practical difference in people's lives. And then it's also like I do want to get more into acting and like trying to, be a character that people can relate to.
Sure.
So yeah, it's really cool, and thank you also for like giving me the opportunity to like act in a sketch for Perfect Parfait. Like that's
dude.
It's really, I feel really lucky, honestly.
Yeah. Oh well, cool, man. I mean, that was easy and fun, and I kind of felt bad because when you came to shoot, I was like, we had been shooting all day, and it was kind of like I was tired, and I was like, oh, am I giving this guy like my best self, my best, like, hey, how are you, but I could just tell you were good, solid, funny dude, and I was
Thanks,
like, I'm gonna give what I can give, and that's just part of getting older too. I'm like, you only got so much energy in the energy bar, the health bar. So I was like, oh, I'm fucking tired. I hope I didn't give Tish the sort of short end of the stick.
No, not at all, dude.
I think we had some fun stuff, and now we edit it together, and it's part of Cap's episode, which is great.
Nice.
So kind of keeping you in the orbit there, and I mean, it's the multitudes thing, containing multitudes. It's like I'm a comedian, I'm a writer, but I also have a big heart, and I'll put stuff on my Instagram now that's like more emotional and vulnerable, and like that's also who I am. And like I think something that social media, I think there's a lot that social media is not doing that isn't healthy for our us.
I totally agree.
And the
Totally
youth,
agree.
and it's toxic in a certain way. But I also think it's allows people to show who they are to the world and express themselves. And your story is very much that. You're like, oh, I like kind of came out of my shell and like was making like just funny Snapchat videos at the party, and then that turned into this. And maybe in a couple of years you'll be on an NBC sitcom and just like be riffing and like be like, holy shit, like it all kind of started because like we got these little computers in our pockets and everyone's got one, and we're the little cameras in them, and that's just kind of cool and it's exciting. And I don't. And there's definitely people who'd be like, well, he didn't train and he didn't, it's like, but acting acting is a lot of things. There's a lot of different types of acting, but it's just kind of being interesting to watch.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's just being an interesting person. Of course, there's like really trained acting who are doing Shakespeare, and that's a whole other thing. And those guys, not everyone can do that. But to just be an interesting person, it's kind of why traditional media is like flopping and like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube is taking off, because like sometimes you don't want to watch the polished, clean piece. You want to watch somebody.
Sometimes you want a quick giggle or something.
Yeah, or you want some weird guy in Alabama who's like, these are all my cats. I got 46 cats, and I named them after all my favorite Disney characters. And you're like, this is the most interesting shit. Like nobody could write this.
Yeah.
And those people are out there.
These are real ass people.
Those are real ass people, and they're funny and they're weird and they're dynamic, and that's why these major studios and networks have to figure out how to blend both of those worlds. Or maybe it's kind of doing what I'm doing. Let's bring it back to me, please. Thank God. And and being like taking my background in traditional storytelling and media, and then bringing it to YouTube and to content. I'm so up my own ass right now. I can't even. I gotta
do your thing, bro.
I gotta get out of here. No, I don't gotta get out of here, but I gotta we can talk about something else. But yeah, it's an exciting time, and I think you're gonna see a lot more independent TV. You saw independent film take off in the 90s because the studios weren't telling interesting dynamic stories. I think you're going to see independent television series take off, and people are just going to put them on YouTube.
I think so too.
And fundraise them by like asking their uncle to pay, or Patreon or GoFundMe or Kickstarter, all that stuff. And then those will do well, and then they'll get bought by Netflix, and then they'll go on Netflix. It's like this weird, like that show Tires, Shane Gillis's show. He shot that himself, as far as I know. Like I think he shot it, and looks pretty cheap, but it's really fucking funny. And then Netflix picked it up, and then that guy's he spent all his money that was like his stand-up money to make the show. Yeah, and that's an independent. You heard of an independent film, that's an independent TV show.
I think what's powerful behind that too is that like when people see like people independently do something, that kind of drives them to want to watch it more. Yeah. Like if someone's a fan of you and they see that you self-produce something, that's like people are like, awesome. Like I want to check that out, see how that is. And I feel like there is a pretty palpable difference between something that's very like network produced with like dudes in suits for like a certain type of genre versus when it's like people who actually like care and they're like putting their like actual like heart and soul into something.
100%.
Like even like sometimes I'll be like just on YouTube and I'll be watching like a 30-minute video of a bunch of guys playing like a round of golf, and it's like super just like well produced, and you're like, a network couldn't produce this. Like ESPN couldn't produce this. It would be too forced. Like this is like, but if they bought this, it's like, do you watch a lot of like sports like media?
No.
Okay. Do you know?
But I can fake it.
Have you heard of the Pat McAfee show?
No, but that feels vaguely familiar.
Okay, so essentially, he was a former NFL punter.
Yeah.
And he started his own talk show about sports, just any kind of like ESPN type show. Like him and his friends are just like doing a live show. And I think it was Barstool produced or like independently produced.
Right.
ESPN ended up buying it, and now it's on their channels. And it's like that's not something that they would ever independently create.
Yeah.
They just love that, and they have a massive like cult following, and that's like you said. I think that's like the next big thing.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, punting, football. Yeah,
dude, I love that guy. I
love
already
punting.
forgot his name. What was happening in my head as I was thinking about Rich Eisen, who is another guy.
Yes,
but
Rich Eisen.
But I like to see clips of his show because he talks to a lot of actors.
Yeah.
But that's another football guy, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Rich Eisen's like the OG.
Yeah, he's an OG. Anyway, I couldn't even fake talking about sports. There's a part in the Perfect Parfait episode with Chris.
You talk about the Celtics?
Talk about the Celtics because he's a big Celtics fan.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember last year during the Celtics NBA Finals run, the top comments under the Celtics post was always either me or Chris.
Yeah.
And like it was so funny because like people, I feel bad for him because all his replies were like, "Yo, McLovin,
sure,
McLovin," and it's just like, dude, let the guy root for his fucking team.
I
man.
know.
Just let the guy live. This is insane.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he has. I think he loved playing that part, but also is like, I have been in a lot of other movies. I play in bands. Like I'm I'm not just that character, and he's not. It's not. He's like, you look at him now. Anybody was watching this or listening to the podcast, look him up, dude. The guy's like beefed out, meaning like he's like in really good shape, and he's got tats all over him. He's one of my best friends, but he's hot, dude. McLovin got hot, okay? So yeah, he's a huge Celtics fan, and in our episode, I asked him like, all-time starting 5 Celtics players, and he like kind of throws it back at me. He's like, "Can you just name 5 Celtics players at all ever?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I actually pull it off.
Really?
Sort of, yeah.
That's amazing.
So
I'm excited for that segment.
It's funny, it's stupid, and then then he goes into his top 5, but it's like kind of already ruined because I like took all the best players because I kind of only knew like the big dogs.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But no, I feel that though. Like back to his point about people recognizing you for one thing, because I kind of feel like, in a sense, I pigeonholed myself like on socials with like the people know like the emo singing and like the funny like pickup lines and stuff, and it's like I do want to use that as a stepping stone.
Absolutely.
And like you mentioned it earlier when you first came over, is like I'm on like a health journey.
Yeah.
Trying to like work on my wellness and my fitness, and like I just like, I don't know. People kind of don't take you seriously because they know you for one thing.
Sure.
Or the engagement drops, and it's because it's like that's not what I followed you for, so I'm not gonna watch it or engage with it. But like, also, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta be you.
It's like it feels good to put out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep doing that, and it's kind of like,
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
It's a fall off exclusive. Tish is gonna keep fucking flexing. He's gonna keep showing you his protein meals with his Cholula on it.
Yeah, dude, the Cholula, freaking.
I look at those meals and I'm like, that looks like it sucks.
The Cholula
not that it doesn't look like it's well made.
Dude,
I'm just like, it's not enough food for me, bro.
Dude, it's so. It's the fucking repetition that gets me, bro.
Oh, that I do.
I'm like, fucking chicken again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
It's just more. It's just protein.
Yeah.
You gotta be a protein boy.
But it's funny because.
But there's a way to take what people know about you and this part of you that is charismatic and charming and loose, and maybe blend it with the
that's what I'm trying to figure.
content.
Yeah.
That's maybe the next chapter. And then
but luckily,
multitudes, brother.
Luckily, I think a lot of people who do support it, like, support the shit out of it, because like I'm not like some already jacked dude being like,
right,
if you want to hit your macros, these are 5 tips.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
also,
why are you yelling at me?
I respect that guy.
I do respect the shit out of that guy.
No. Wait, you know Liver King?
Of course, dude.
That guy's fucking psycho.
That guy's an animal.
Yeah, that guy's like, something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Like, something's broken in his brain.
1,000%.
And
you can see it in his eyes.
You can see it in his eyes that he's like one PR away from like physically ripping his wife's head off and like it being a news story. Like, he's so scary.
He is.
He's so roided out. Like, remember, he's like talking like, I'm not on roids. And I also think his abs.
Did you hear that? He like
it came from him, and he was like, I did do some. I've done them. It's like, bro,
Because like, emails leaked that he spends like $30K on steroids like a month.
Of course he does.
And
look at him.
But like his whole like page is founded on like you eat liver once a day, you can look like me, and everyone's like, nah.
Ancestral tenet number
You're literally red,
one.
Bro.
Yeah, ancestral tenet number one for Liver King is $30K worth of steroids need to be delivered to your door every month.
Did he think that no one would fucking find out about that?
Of course, obviously.
That's
we wouldn't have said all that.
Comes in like an Amazon Prime package.
Yeah, I mean, that's first of all, it's so much money.
Yeah, it's absurd.
And it's also, I mean, I don't know. I don't take. I mean, whatever, if you want to take steroids, fine. But it's like to take that much so aggressively, it just feels like it's gonna like shrink your balls and make your brain bad.
Yeah, I don't even know, dude. I mean, like teach their own, I guess.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I know some guys that take testosterone that are like in their 40s, late 30s, early 40s are like, I want to keep lifting, and I get it. I could see myself, at a certain point be like, man, my T is low.
Yeah.
My drive is low. My libido sucks. My girl's disappointed. Someone
and the Vine.
Yeah, what's that?
That and the Vine sex drive.
And the Vine?
Yeah, you said 7 seconds. That's all I can give.
Exactly, bro. That's called low T. That's that Vine drive, dude.
That Vine
and you
drive,
just pump me up and throw some liver in my
Let
mouth.
Her ripped. Jesus.
And I'm back, baby.
That's so funny, dude. I forgot where I was going with that though.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Oh, it was the fact that people they like the content because it's very just like the wellness content because it's endearing. Because I'm just like, it's been pretty surprising. Like I've gotten more like messages that are like heartfelt or comments that are just like, this is inspiring me to like get into shape or like, make my life better, because it's just like, my goal is I want people to like be able to look at me and be like, if he's doing it, I should be doing it too. In the sense of like, I say that sounds a lot more like culty than I meant it to be. He's doing cocaine, I'm gonna do it too.
I mean, I've been that guy, but no, I think you're saying that. It's about you want to help other people if you can.
Yeah.
And you're an easy guy to root for. You are an endearing, sweet energy, and so you come on there and you're like, I do funny videos, but it's the top of the year. I'm trying to get in shape. I think a lot of people are always,
yes,
we always, the gym memberships go up like 50, 100% at the top of the year, whatever it is. And so you're just out there going like, this is how I'm doing it. And it feels good. And like, it's accountability, and
it does keep me on track too. Because there have been days where I'm like, do I just get Chipotle? And I'm like, no, the people need to see the Cholula sauce on the eggs and the chicken.
Damn, no Chipotle, not even a burrito bowl. My guy's even resistant to
the
BBs, dude.
Bro, I want it so bad. But
what do you want? What's the vision?
Bro, if I could, my vision is if I could just have like a ribeye and eggs at like lunchtime, like 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Protein.
Just so much protein, and then like around 6, 7 have like some kind of chicken with a carb, more protein, not a vegetable inside. That fuck vegetables, dude. I'm just kidding. But
dude, vegetables, man, they got all the macronutrients.
No, you're right.
That's what keeps the gut biome ripping, dude.
That's true, 100% true.
You'll need some roughage.
But the problem is that do you know what gout is?
Yeah,
dude, I get gout bad, bro.
Okay.
Like, it's fucked up.
Interesting. I know another guy gets gout. Yeah.
Dude, it's the worst because it's like, I went to the doctor and it was like, I don't eat like a ton of red meat, but it's like red meat, seafood, and alcohol are like the 3 like main killers for it. And the pain is excruciating in my foot. I get it in my right foot when it's bad. So I had to like cut it out. Not cut it out. Like
red meat and
seafood. I'm limiting it.
No more seafood towers. No
like
more shrimp
I might have red meat like once a month, and same with seafood. Right. Just because I feel like I can't. I don't want to take any chances. That's why it sucks. Because like I was saying, if I could have a ribeye and eggs every day, I would. Yeah. But I can't.
That's going to inflame the gout.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
we're back, baby.
I most certainly need to be eating more vegetables, and that's something I'm working on.
My
so.
my wife is vegan, so I eat a lot of vegetables. I eat meat too, and we're a mixed dietary household. But so I know the power of vegetables, my man. You got to get some more vegetables in the diet.
Right.
Here I am, fucking covered here, 40 pounds overweight.
What? No, dude.
You're like, here's what you need to do.
That's
brother.
facts, though. That's facts, though.
No, but veggies fill you up, man. They say you're supposed to have 5 servings of vegetables a day. That's who can hit that? 5 handfuls, which is crazy,
bro. It's
but
so
I can do
crazy.
2. I try to fuck with I'll just be like grab a big bunch of I'll just grab spinach or arugula straight out the fucking the crisper and just toss it in my mouth. Just gurgle it down and just eat it. Just be like, I got that vegetables. Or that Athletic Greens. Shout out Athletic Greens.
Athletic Greens.
We're looking for sponsors.
I know for a fact AG1 sponsors people. So.
AG1 is fire. I fuck with AG1 in a big ass way. I'm on a subscription. I get it every month.
Word.
And I put in my smoothie, a couple scoops of protein, some bananas, some AG1, a little maca, a little creatine, just a little if I've been lifting. We got some blueberries in there, some blackberries, some ice. Blend it on about between 5 and 7 for about a minute. Boom.
It's the perfect smoothie, dude.
Slurp it down. Pow! Popeye vibes.
Popeye vibes. There we go.
AG1. I'm like, all right, it's a serving. It's like 2 servings of vegetables through. I'm like,
dude, yeah.
I'll fuck with that.
Those super greens like type mixtures like are insane. Dude, yeah, man. I don't know.
Where are we?
Talk about. Where are we?
Well, I mean, I feel like we got. What do we got?
Backed out for a second.
Have we been talking? Not for 2 hours.
No, that means we're on the second hour. I'll throw a question at you. Okay,
I'm ready for this. This one's gonna be good. I can feel it.
If you could have any people in all of history, past, present, 5 people be guests on Perfect Parfait, who would they be? And they can be. I want to say they can be people who are you've considered upcoming, but just anyone. Anyone.
That's a great question. For me, it's wow, that's a great question. You kind of
I got you a little stuff.
My heart's beating out of my chest. My palms are sweaty. Fucking mom spaghetti though. It's Adam Sandler is the GOAT, right? Like we all grew up on Sandler, that Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, that like I was like just a young, like getting into middle school. I was like, that's fucking comedy. And then Wedding Singer, Big Daddy was like a couple years later. I'm like, this shit is so good. And then kind of aged out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of he sort of did. He made a lot of those sort of, you know, ridiculous comedy movies and some better than others. But then like I said, I'm a kind of a film cinema nerd, and he made this movie Punch Drunk Love with Paul Thomas Anderson, which is like him and like doing a serious part, and Uncut Gems with the Safdie brothers a couple years ago.
That was a
like,
great movie.
Dude, he's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
He's one of the and then his stand-up is so amazing. His latest stand-up's on Netflix. Like, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's like and the way that he's sort of. I love when comedians do dramatic roles, and I think he's just navigated his career beautifully, and he's so great to the people he works with. He keeps his community really close. He's a mensch. So I think it would be a great interview. I think it's like with somebody like Sandler, like I have like hours and hours of questions, and I also think there'd be some great riffing there, and I would just like bow to him, right? Like it's fucking the Sandman, dude.
Yeah.
Like his song, like on his latest special, it's called Comedy. It's like about like loving comedy and like how comedy can cure like your fucking loneliness. It's like breaks my heart. And then his song about Chris Farley on his second to last special, dude. If anybody's watching this, it's so beautifully written. And then the Hanukkah song, just like the fact that he was able to, the only, you know, like the fact that he was able to give Jewish kids this fucking anthem. I'm going off on Sandman here, but
no, that's awesome.
I love that guy, and I would be that's kind of like that's on my vision board.
Yeah,
to get to that level, and then Conan O'Brien is also on my comedy Rushmore. I love Conan O'Brien.
I met him at Coachella in 2022. It was so funny, dude, because he's fucking tall.
He's a tall guy.
I I don't know what I was expecting. I saw him, and like he had like the sickest fit. Like it was just all denim, everything.
Yeah.
Like cowboy hat.
Oh, really?
And I was just
no
like,
way, cowboy hat on.
it
Coco?
was
Coco?
some kind of. I think it was a cowboy hat. If I find the picture, I'll send it to
Damn,
you.
I need to see that.
But it was so funny because I felt so short next to this man.
Yeah.
And he was so not sober. It was
Really?
he was having a great time. Either that or he just probably just a weird guy.
I mean, he's such a spirit. He's such an energy. I love him so much. I grew up watching him do the whatever it was, the Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and then we did Tonight Show and then the Conan Show on TBS and his podcast now. His improvisational skills, his like off the cuff nature is something I really aspire to as a performer, and I fall far beneath the greatness of Conan, but I would love to talk to him. His Hot Ones interview recently, I don't know if you saw it. Dude, he goes fucking nuts. He starts rubbing the spice on his nipples, and he's chugging the bottle of Tabasco, or not Tabasco, this hot sauce. It's just he. What's the term the kids use? He understood the assignment. He ate it. He left no crumbs.
He ate and left no crumbs, if you will.
My dude he's such an inspiration to me. So there's those two. So and then like it's tough, right? I mean, gosh.
Let's do 3. We can make this like the last one.
Well, yeah, no, don't.
We can go 5.
Cut me off, brother. I'm in it. I'm building the perfect. No, I mean, look, I would love like somebody like Mel Brooks. I don't know if you know Mel Brooks. He, like comedic legend. He's 100 years old now, so maybe Mel Brooks like 20 years ago. I mean, he's a legend that I would love to talk to. He really shaped my comedy growing up.
Yeah.
There's like people like Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig, and some of those Saturday Night Live folks. I have so much love for. Dan Aykroyd. I love Dan Aykroyd as a performer, but I also love him as a like a writer. Like the fact that he created Blues Brothers and Ghostbusters, like these super fucking 80s coked out concepts. That's like, what is this? It's like the whole movie's like, we're gonna chase ghosts. Like nobody had done a comedy that had that kind of riffery and like special effects. I mean, bro, I don't know. Paul Thomas Anderson's maybe my favorite filmmaker. He did Punch Drunk Love, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Inherent Vice. Like, he's somebody I want to talk to. He grew up in the San Fernando Valley, which is where I grew up. I feel a real kinship to him and to his stories. That's somebody that would, I think would be really special. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Those are kind of those are some of the people that come to mind.
The Adam Sandler one's funny because part of Grown Ups 2 was like shot in my neighborhood that I grew up in. It was crazy. Like, do you remember? Did you watch Grown Ups 2?
I'm familiar with the first Grown. I mean, yeah, I know the Grown Ups universe, but no, tell me about it.
Okay, so there's a scene where, funny enough, Jimmy Tatro was in the scene, and basically they're at like a quarry, like it's like a this quarry, like basically in my backyard where I grew up. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it is like a giant lake, and so surrounding it is just like these cliffs pretty much. And there's a scene where like the high school kids, like they go like on the last day of school, and there's a bunch of college kids just like partying, like they're all home for break, and they're just like drinking beer and stuff, jumping off the cliffs into the water. And part of it's shot there, and like Jimmy comes out with like Taylor Lautner, who's like the head guy of the crew, and they're all like college frat lacrosse dudes,
right?
And I was like, yo, this is so on point to like where I grew. They nailed the demographic. They nailed it.
You're like, I feel seen.
Literally, it was so insane because I remember like in real life, like going back there is like so illegal. Like nothing ever happens in my quiet neighborhood and hometown. But I remember like growing up, like every summer there would be like so many cops driving in and out of the neighborhood because they would always like be checking around the area, making sure no one's like back there partying and stuff. But that was a really cool thing, knowing that like Adam Sandler was just like 0.1 mile away.
Oh yeah,
filming his movie.
He's supposed to be the best guy, like a good human being.
Would love to play basketball with him too.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clips of him
He's
just
a
hooping?
beast. I know people who have played basketball with him.
That's amazing, dude.
I heard that he. This might not be right to say. I heard he sweats a lot. And that's part of his tactic is he like gets up on you and he's like sweating on you.
That's insane.
and he's like kind of stinky.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. He just loves ball, dude.
He loves ball, dude. It's so sick. Yeah, I mean, anybody who's like, funny and has had a. I'd love to interview some of these, like, also like, there's all these great. This has like been the year of like the female pop singer. Like, I think it would be fun to like interview a Billie Eilish or a Sabrina Carpenter or a Chappell Roan. I'm not sure they would get a kick out of me, but like I've really been enjoying cool. like the music that's been coming out this last year, and I think like it would be fun to like kind of play with them in a between two ferns kind of way.
They're really like pop culture icons
right now,
like
totally.
It's or just cultural. I'm not even have to put an umbrella over that, but like it's pretty insane. Like, and like I feel
they're
like
dominating the moment,
and everyone just like full on, shamelessly loves them. Like,
and they should. Chappell Roan is the moment. I mean, her voice is actually incredible. Her songwriting skills are tremendous.
Yeah.
Her whole like, it's really fun to see somebody who like builds a whole like world, like the project. You know what I mean? It's like there's the singer and there's like the artist, and then there's like the project, like all their branding and their visuals and their album art, and like. I think that all those people I just mentioned, and like, I'm like 37, so maybe it's like weird to me like be like, I love Olivia Rodrigo. It's like, but like their whole like the fact that they've like built these kind of worlds around them that I think is really interesting and exciting and. I don't know what I'm talking about. I sound like a fucking loon over here.
No.
I'd like to interview the 21-year-old pop star. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. But that's that good OC Coke, dude.
That's that OC Coke talking.
That's that Fullerton pow.
That Fullerton pow. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I interesting, funny people. And then there's a lot of, like, funny people that are not stars, quote unquote, that I'm interested in. There's a big like clown movement happening in like the Echo Park, Los Feliz. Like there's all this like clowning, like inspired by like French clowning. And there's this comedian named Natalie Palamides who's like very funny and insane. And her work is so dangerous. And her, I want to interview her next season, and then there's this guy I just saw last night. His name is Zach Zucker, and he plays a character named Jack Tucker, which is like it's this clowning, sort of conceptual like one man show where he's a stand up comedian who's like losing his mind on stage, and those are people that I'm like excited about. As like a fan and like a peer, I'm like, like I want to like put you on my show so that I can like be associated with you. You know what I mean? And it's in that kind of way. I'm like, these are just like, obviously it would be great to like interview like fucking Adam Sandler, but like to also like play with other comedians who I respect and have big love for, or I'm interested in. And that's on my mind as well.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. And we're all looking forward to that. I've one last question for you personally for you.
Okay. Shit.
How would you describe your perfect parfait? Oh, he's about to lock in.
Oh shit!
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Like when you said that, my brain just went blank. I'm like, I don't know. This is good. He's good. This guy's
eyes glazed over.
Tish is good. He fucking got me as a gotcha. The perfect parfait. It's about balance.
Okay.
It's about. Every bite is balanced. It mixes together well. I think it might be a disservice to all the different ingredients available to parfaits to single out this ingredient. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say it's like it's vanilla yogurt, but it's probably like a vanilla honey yogurt. But it's probably a blackberry element.
Okay.
but then there's probably a wild card sort of. There's gotta be a crunch in
Yes,
there.
of course.
But there's also some wild card element, like a caramel sauce, something that I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm not really like I haven't obtained it, right?
Yeah.
I've never made it. I make parfaits like 2 or 3 times a week at home, which is usually the classic, like berries, yogurt, granola, maybe a little honey, a little drizzle on the top, little H drizz. But I think like I don't know what it is, but I know it's a balanced bite. I know it's a crunchy bite, but I know that the granola isn't like cutting the roof of my mouth.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like
that's the worst, bro.
It's bad, dude. And so it's about a balanced bite in a nice looking glass. And you know, as I'm imagining it, it's like I'm somewhere eating it, right? I'm like in Hawaii. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, you know, it's 78 degrees.
Yeah. Toes in the water, ass in the sand.
Exactly. Just like a little bit of breeze wafting through
it's a beautiful visual.
dome piece and just sitting there and like crunching it. And then I got a cup of coffee next to me too. The coffee's black with a little honey in it.
Splendid.
It's hot. It's a hot cup of joe. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, hot coffee is, I don't know what it is, bro. To me, infinitely better than iced coffee.
Oh yeah,
cold brews. Like I get the hype, but also I don't. If I'm being frank, like my
just be real, dude.
My girlfriend.
This is a safe space, dude.
I gotta vent real quick.
Fuck iced coffee, bro.
Fuck iced coffee.
Your girl's not here, dude.
My girlfriend. She's from the Palm Springs area.
Okay.
So very hot in the desert.
Of
right?
course, horribly hot.
Whenever we go visit and we go to, they just opened up a Dunkin' there, which East Coast boy. That's my shit.
Okay.
I always get a freaking small hot regular coffee.
There you go.
With cream and sugar, dude.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sweating my balls off, but it's worth it, dude.
Yeah,
it's worth it. It's freaking Dunkin'. It's hot coffee.
Yeah,
it's meant to be served hot.
So with all due respect, I don't fuck with Dunkin'. And
you know,
here's why. It's
I respect
too
that.
Sweet. The coffee's too sweet, but their iced coffee is way too sweet for me.
Yes, because their iced coffees, like they put like so much of like the pumps of all the different flavors and stuff. That's why I just get just black coffee, 2 creams, 2 sugar packets.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, that's a nice order. That's like a classic like 1950s like salesman.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah,
cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. 2 creams, 2 sugars.
I remember like literally like in high school we'd always go to Dunkin' on the way to school and always be like the students and then like super like blue collar working hard ass dudes. Just they weren't hard ass dudes. They weren't hard. But like,
they were
I don't
just
know.
straight up
Maybe they were
walking in there just fucking
walking Dunkin'.
Boom, yeah. Just that TRT Liver King style, just fucking.
Hey brother,
still feeling it. Yeah.
Nah, but it's and the thing is that I love about Dunkin' is that.
Shout out Dunkin'. Okay, we're looking for
sponsors.
Shout out Dunkin' and Athletic Greens. We want to. Here's what we want. We want Dunkin' to do an Athletic Greens donut. That's gonna suck.
But you know what? We'll still have it.
Yeah, we'll eat it. Yeah.
But it's so like it's not a great cup of coffee. It's good, but it's consistently good.
Right.
And it's one of the only places that like Starbucks. If you get a certain drink from Starbucks, it depends on the location.
Is that right?
It'll be a little bit, at least in my experience, it's like it's a little bit different. It's never the same. So they either put too much of like the oat milk in it or whatever. And
careful, we're looking for sponsors.
But Starbucks, forgive me. This is my personal unaffiliated opinion from Perfect Parfait.
Yeah.
But Dunkin', it's the same everywhere, and I love that.
And you're all about that consistency. I've seen those meals you've been posting online.
But it reminds me of home too.
3-ounce chicken, 2-ounce eggs, whites.
I measure that shit to a T like a maniac. I'm like 3.01. I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah,
it's 0.01 ounces over.
Too much,
my macros are all fucked up now. No,
that's the roids.
Yes, that's the roids.
Yeah,
clearly I'm juiced out right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, where were we? Coffee. We love it. Oh, yeah, hot coffee. I'm about that hot coffee life. I like it hot. I like it coming out the fucking pot hot.
Yes, sir.
I know. It's like, what are these guys talking about? Who gives a fuck? Everyone likes hot coffee. But no, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. And so that's the perfect parfait for me, is something where it's about balance. It's about being in paradise.
It's the experience.
It's also about I don't got a lot on my mind. You know what it is? I'm sitting there. I'm eating the parfait. The coffee's right there. It's hot as fuck. I open my bank app, and all of a sudden, there's $3.5 million in there.
I built a time machine and I bought all the available Apple stock.
Exactly. I brought Vine back as well.
I brought Vine
I'm sitting there in Hawaii. I'm a Vine superstar because I went back and I got in on it. I bought the Apple stock.
I made sure everyone knew that I was not a misogynist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking through Perfect Parfait on YouTube. I've already interviewed Olivia Rodrigo, Adam Sandler, Conan O'Brien. I look at my bank account. There's $3.5 million. I take a sip of my coffee, a bite of my parfait, and I cum my board shorts immediately.
Oh my god!
And I say, I made it.
I made it.
And then I get in the water. I start swimming, and I don't stop. And my wife is like, "Where are you going? Where are you going? No!
I'm going to infinity, my love.
No!
I'll see you.
I did it.
I'll see you in Valhalla.
I'll see you in Valhalla. Exactly. Yeah, man.
That's amazing, dude.
That's a perfect parfait for you.
Hell yeah. Well, Hunter, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Teesh.
We love it, man. It's also it's been nice getting to actually sit down.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Chat, get to know each other a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Like you said last time, it was very busy.
It was busy. I was in a orange.
No spoilers.
But I was in something that showed all of me.
Yes. Quite.
It was
very flattering.
Well,
I felt like a small man.
Well, and look. Now you got me blushing here. The cocas wore off, and I'm stoked. It was good. It was good to chat with you, dude.
Yeah,
it was
man.
good to be here. It's funny. It's you get to a certain point in your life, you're like, all right, how can I hang out with this guy? Well, maybe we got to build it around some sort of work situation.
Yeah.
So, thanks for having me. And
of course, man.
The fall off. Satish.
Yes, sir.
I'm always so worried I'm going to call it Satish. It's because but it's Satish.
Yes.
Wow. At the end of the interview, cut that part, dude. Cut that part. Tish. But you ever get that in your head where you're like, I'm fucking going to fuck somebody's name up? No, you don't get that?
Because I know what it's like to get the name fucked
I
up all
know.
the time. So I make it. Actually, I take that back because I forgot Sin Olivia's names earlier on. So
anyway, we're yeah. But Tish, thanks so much for having me here. No, it's okay. I mean, look, we're human. That's me showing my vulnerability of like, I really like this guy. I know his name is Satish.
Yeah.
I know it's Tish. Tish. I like did it in my head. I'm like, don't call him Satish. But every time I was like, I'm gonna fuck this up. It's because I'm a fucking white colonizing piece of shit. And I smoke too much weed. My brain's bad. And
coked out of my mind,
I'm coked out of my mind. I'm fucking pumped, and I have COVID. I came here with COVID. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Thank you so much.
Much love, dude.
Guys,
appreciate you.
Be sure to follow Hunter Cope on all socials and Perfect Parfait. February 20th, you said?
February 20th, yeah. Follow us at Perfect Parfait Show and at Hunter Cope Loves You, because I do.
He does. He most certainly does. All right, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. We'll see you guys next one, all right? Peace.
Much love.
Fine. Now those losers are out of here, man.
Wait a minute. You're still on the mic.
Oh, shit.